When you're ready.
Alright, so this is Animal Testing by Erin Anderson. And then starting off with my thesis, we have that animal testing done on animals for both cosmetic and medical purposes are inhumane, unethical, and cruel. Therefore, experimentations on living creatures should not be placed into society. And then we're looking at my lenses. First we have the futuristic lens, we have the ethical lens, we have the environmental lens, and we also have the scientific lens. And then starting off, I focus on two smaller lenses, and those were the environmental and the ethical lens. And then as we look at the environmental lens, we see that the use and disposal of animals contributes to pollution as well as biodiversity and public health. And then with this being known that these testing centers are placing harmful chemicals into the air and into bodies of water, which overall affect more than just the animals. And then when looking at my other small lens, when I look at the ethical lens, we see that first there is suffering going on, and this occurs with countless and basically all animals that are being tested on, and they're locked up and chained into tight spaces, which you can see here. And then secondly, we are able to see that human benefits are not proven, meaning that even though a procedure could be seen as successful on animals, it cannot be on humans. And then lastly, the most crucial is death, and there is no moral aspect at all when you're killing animals just for a purpose that may work. And then from the scientific lens, the question is asked on how animals and humans are different. And you can see here that scientists have looked at mice, and even though that we are able to see that they have several of the same genes, they can express different proteins by regulating how DNA is regulated into protein, which is seen in the image of this panel right here. So you can see that the DNA right here with this one is DNA that was accepted, and then the red arrow is DNA that is not accepted. And then as we look to panel B, the neuron right here expresses the gene for a serotonin receptor, and in this gene the serotonin was taken in, but in this same gene the serotonin receptor was not taken in. And then we also see that humans rely and are harmed by modern medicines and treatments that have been tested because vague results from experiments and clinical trials could have defective substances which expose patients to avoidable risks. Toxicity studies done on animals are inferior predictors of toxic effects of drugs in humans, and we can see this with ALS, which is a neurodegenerative disease that affects nerve cells in brain and spinal cord, and tests that have been done on mice and other animals have not been effective on those in humans that have been tested on. And then lastly, when we look at the futuristic lens, we can see that for current and future alternatives, scientists have looked at spinach, and in 2017, an experiment with spinach was conducted in which scientists have found a way to basically incorporate this into human heart tissue, and you can see this in the image here. So this is basically the leaf before it was tested on, and then this is after they injected red food dye into it, and you can basically see that the veins in the leaf were basically the same as those that would be in a human heart, so it can tell that they have very similar vascular systems. And then also there is a company called MedTech, which was designed to develop innovative life science technologies and unmatched expertise in the field of in vitro science. And they offer 11 different in vitro models, and then one of the 11 offer laceration healing and tissue regeneration, disease modeling, and drug delivery. And then with these, doctors are able to fully switch away from testing on animals. And then to conclude, with the help of the ethical, environmental, scientific, and futuristic perspectives, animal testing on any scale should not happen.
Thanks. A couple of questions. How valid and reliable are the sources you used? How do you know? And which sources didn't work?
My sources are reliable because they're up to date. The main one I used was the National Library of Medicine, which comes up on Google Scholar. And then a site that did not work for me was Wikipedia, because the information could come from anywhere and it's not necessarily reliable because it doesn't come from doctors and scientists these
Okay.
days.
Thank you. Another question. If you had more time, what additional research would you conduct related to this issue?
I would want to focus on the economic problems because animal testing does include a lot of money-based problems because it gets so expensive and just a lot of money is put into it and not many results have come out of it.
Okay. Thank you.